Hello and welcome to my Wickergirl vlog. It's a wrap! Are words that really mean a lot to me as I started shooting my sci-fi body horror film From Me to You in the middle of 2017. And for a lot of reasons understood by many indie filmmakers, it's taken a long time. Life got in the way, people passed, depression swept over me, other things like having a low social media presence, no matter how hard I tried in terms of hashtagging, knowing the peak times, etc., it rendered it impossible to run a crowdsourced campaign. So with all this on my shoulders, I saved what I could towards getting the rest of the movie shot and got a producer friend on board. Someone who believed in the film's worth and who would stick with me through thick and thin, just to finish the film. And someone who is a producer and didn't want to be a director or a DOP or anything else but that. It's always an important factor to have what it says on the packet. My DOP Jan came all the way from Toronto and we were reunited again. My best friend and head of makeup department Sam Agnew brought her team on board and we worked tirelessly for 7 days straight. And of course our lead actor Adam Lannon was happy to get stuck in and reignite life into the role. I too did some rewriting before reapproaching the shoot in accordance to location and budget restrictions. In fact, it made the story stronger and it actually challenged me in ways, in terms of being able to spot things I didn't do before in terms of narratively. And it was quite cathartic to be in the mindset where I could embrace problems head on, ready to resolve them in a narrative sense. There were also heavy guerrilla moments, which I can't speak on, but let's just say we winged it on some of the locations. We built our sets, and needless to say, sci-fi films require a lot of innovative set design. I also had to cut down on the lavish VFX scenes I had before in our erotic scene, for example, and to be sure not to use the visualistic charm and horror that I had originally planned. Coming together with my actor Adam again was quite emotional in a sense because I really wanted to explore a depth within this character I'd written. Along this journey, I discovered just how close to home this character was from my own relationship experiences and playing the other in most of my relationships with men. I knew the face of this character who left for Vietnam. I knew his wants, his needs, his innate pleasures and guilt, his fear to lose power and facing or admitting his desires, and also fear of underwhelmment. But I needed Adam to resonate and perform for me on screen, even more so than we did in Vietnam, especially with the rewritten scenes. Adam understood straight away and we spoke intimately about the past, which was very therapeutic in a sense. And he too had seen this man, this character and people close to him, and we talked it over, the core feelings and thought processes of this character that we had spotted in people that we knew. As we had an erotic scene in the film, our actor Adam suggested that we use an intimacy coach. At first I was quite dubious, having wanted to be the only voice in such scenes. But in terms of providing, comfort and that middle person to such intimate scenes, it did help. In fact, you don't lose the power to direct if you work on who is doing what and saying what before the actual day of the shoot. And so an intimacy coach actually really works well as a mouthpiece, for those sometimes rather awkward moments, but is able to relay your direction with the sensitivity that's needed for the actors. And this actually helped a lot and ensured the smooth running of our scenes. Enter the rehearsals! Woo! Now with our IC on board, Adam, Grace and I work closely together to choreograph the scene. Let's just say having the support right down to the smallest things of reassuring my actors during moments where they were exposed in front of a whole crew helped. Our coach took great care of Adam and Grace, ensuring that the environment was completely safe and that they were comfortable. This is vital when doing scenes that are intimate and where actors have to place themselves in a familiar psyche. Yeah, everyone is there, watching, but they have to do that. You have to remember they've got to do it again and again and again and again. And in this particular scene, there were a lot of energetic movements and the sensuality which I tried to create as genuinely as possible so that I could focus on the emotivity and pace of the scene. During one of our test days, I said to my DOP Jan, do you ever feel really nervous before a shoot, like you're anxious and your heart is pumping so fast that there's like a fear inside? And I remember a smile crept upon his face and he said, it used to happen to me all the time up until a year ago. I used to feel exactly what you're feeling. And this was reassuring to hear because aside from the emotional rigmarole, you can read up about it, what happened in Vietnam, borderline apocalypse now experience on my blog, but it was so nerve-wracking for me to be able to complete this all, once and for all. Forward to the actual shoot days, the biggest scene by far and challenging was the opening scene, aka the casino scene. My head of makeup department, Sam Agnew, became a casting director as we were able to source performers from the alternative scene in London. I too roped in friends and fellow filmmakers to play roles. Even Ibiza Undead director Andy Edwards was with me all day, providing stern support, and was also my stills photographer for the day, setting up a portable studio capturing behind the scenes moments. I also roped him in to play a character, and I'll hopefully repay this favour in his feature, The Vampires of Soho. Because it was such an ambitious scene with over 20 plus casts, including a complete set change, along with the Vietnamese dialogue, I invited my friend and editor James Burt to sit beside me so that we could plan our edit as best as we could, along the way, and subconsciously logging those images in our minds as we went along. And it was actually a huge advantage when it came to editing the scene. Although I shot list all of my shots, and with my DOP Jan adding his magical touch, keeping up with my own shot list was challenging, especially with scenes with dialogue and the trippy moments. Luckily, one of my actors, Zion, became a dialogue coach, as our cast were from different Asian backgrounds, so we had to make sure that the Vietnamese pronunciations were correct. Although that said, when shooting in Vietnam, I had asked the actors to speak in a strange Vietnamese accent to emulate the changes in the linguistics and the alien-esque language adaptation. So, if the accents are slightly off, it might work in my favour, providing the meaning doesn't change. We've had a great cast, including Linda Lim, known on the British Asian scene, and Logan Wong, who starred in Stan Lee's Lucky Man and Spy Game, amongst many more. Zion was also in Vietnam's first Pride 7 years ago, and not long after that, the government removed the ban of being gay out of national law. And actor Richard Myers played a brilliantly creepy barman. After all, what's a horror film without a creepy barman? Oh, the love of cliches. My friend and fellow actor Hugh John Sam also came to support, and he played the doctor in my film. Hugh has been there from the start of this Vietnam journey, helping me, with understanding some of the cultural obstacles I faced when I was in Vietnam. And holding my hand virtually is who I call my sister Gatino, who helped my team when we were out there in Vietnam pre-shoot and on my first ever research trip. You can see the videos on my YouTube channel. I've actually felt film shame of just how long this has taken, especially as it's a proof of concept. Even if it is a film within its own right, I've spent a lot of time and money that I often, I feel this guilt or shame inside, and, why has it taken so long? I wake up and I feel deluded. I'm like, what am I doing? But, I'm almost at the finish line, and I guess that's the lesson, one of the lessons is the art of perseverance, perhaps. My friend Iris said something to me very interesting. She said to me, people go to university, they pay thousands of pounds to study a degree, and you've essentially done the same thing in investing in yourself. My other friend Sam says, it takes time to create art, and something that's good. Baby steps, one step at a time. And so now I'm in that quiet, reflective place, feeling somber because finally the 2 years of adrenaline, bereavement of lost ones, reality of what I've actually been through is revealing its ugly come down. My fellow filmmaker friend David Campion said to me that it's actually normal to feel like this, and that even Scorsese falls into depression after filming. But I can say that aside from the slight low mood, like a calm before another cosmic storm, silently brewing away in my soul, I am excited for what's next. A rebirth of other work now that this hurdle has almost passed, and with a feature film script to finish and a film to share with you all in the coming months. Now we've dived headfirst into post-production, and I'm also VFX coordinating my own film, working with a number of artists already via Escape Studios again, who have been with me from the start. And we're currently looking for a 3D generalist with an animation background for the erotic body horror love scenes. We don't have much of a budget, but do PM me if you know anyone or are an artist interested in the beauty within the perverse. I'll be running a small crowdsource soon for post-production, so please do keep a lookout for more videos and film fun. You've been watching Wickergirl. Thank you for watching, listening, and your support. I'll be sharing more with you soon. Bye!